Hey y'all, this is your girl Reese. So I am coming to you today to talk about 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, season 5, episode 10. So this is going to be a quick roundup of what went down. We're not going to go into the nitty gritty. Let's just talk about the key points and keep it moving. Gino and Jasmine, we're not going there. We don't care. I've already told you guys before. I just don't believe them. Um, yeah, but I do want to say that when she snatched off his hat and that face that he gave her, oh, he looked like he could have killed her if those cameras weren't there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with his head. But I'll reserve my comments because just in case if it's some type of health problem, I don't want to be sounding mean. So let's move on from them. Let's get some of the couples that we really don't care about out the way. Then we'll get to the nitty gritty. So the next up, we're going to get over Ella and Johnny. Okay. We don't care about them either, guys. We do not care about them either. It is very clear that Johnny does not want to be in this relationship and that Johnny does not want to come to America. Not everybody is running to grab to America, not if it is at the sacrifice of their family. I think that he's very much thinking of his family when he is making this decision. I mean, the man is the sole provider for his parents and his son, who is taken care of by his parents. No one has time to be coming down to, where is she, in Kentucky, like in the middle of nowhere, just to sit there for God knows how long before he gets his papers while she's supporting Kim. How is he going to be able to send money home to his families? Because we know she's not going to be able to do that, or she just may not be willing to do that. So instead of him just being honest and saying, listen, I don't want to come out there for X, Y, Z, he's making all of these reasons. She's just like, I'm going to come to Dubai. He's like, what? Yeah, girl, move on. No such thing as an open relationship. Just move on. Just move on. Like, he does not want to be with you. You go your way. He goes his. Like, I know I spoke really fast regarding them because we don't care. He doesn't care. Johnny does not care. So why the heck should we care? Okay. Let's move on from them. Next up, another couple that we don't care about, at least for this particular episode, Memphis and Hamsa. You guys already know how I feel about Memphis. She gets on my nerves. We see that he's like at the shop, going over garments with his mom. He has a conversation with his mom. Clearly he has cold feet. It's not even just cold feet. It's second thoughts. Like, once again, yes, America is okay, I guess, but is it at the sake of your peace? Memphis is a handful. She is annoying. She talks to him like a kid. She treats him like a kid. She is ridiculous. And she talks down to him. And she has embarrassed him on TV. Like, if she's doing all of this on TV, can you imagine what it'll be like when the cameras are gone? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? And he doesn't believe in divorce, but you don't know when you're dealing with that girl. Like, you don't know. Memphis has been divorced twice. Like, she clearly believes in it. So I don't know, like, what. I think he needs to listen to his mother and just take some time to think about it. I know his mother was asking. So, no, he asked. My apologies. He asked the mom, so do you think I shouldn't do this? Hoping that his mother would say, no, you shouldn't, so he can blame this on his mom. Basically trying to take the Cairo way out. No. His mother was like, I just think that you should slow down. See? I would have said, no, don't do this. Okay? Because you're going to be back underneath my roof in no time. It's just not worth it. But then we also find out that Memphis apparently spent the night with her ex-husband before she even brought herself down to this country. Memphis don't even know what she wants. There is like, let me not say what I'm going to say because it's going to sound mean. I'll leave it alone. But if I was Hamsa, I would be done. Here's my thing. I want to know what the ex-husband looks like. Because if you recall, Memphis had a baby by Hamsa now, right? I just want to see what the ex-husband looked like. I want to see what the ex-husband looked like. That's all I'm saying. Because the way you was rushing me into having sexy time in this dang on country and we had just officially met in person, I want to see what this ex-husband looked like, and I want to know how quick she came back pregnant. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've watched enough Maury Povich in my lifetime to just give a side eye to everything where a side eye is needed. That's all I want to say in reference to them. We move on. Okay, so who's next do we want to get out the way? Okay, we can get Soulja Boy and Kimbaaaaly out the way. I honestly was disappointed that Soulja Boy dropped his guard and was just like, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna have sex now. Like, prepare yourself, this and that. It's so gross to me simply because if the shoe was reversed and that was a man that was constantly begging, you know, like a sugar daddy or something like that, and then the girl just finally gives in. Like, I would have pity for that girl. Like, oh my God. It's clear you don't want to do this, but yet you're doing this because she's pressured you for what, 10 episodes? Father God. I mean, but she's finally wore Soulja Boy's down, whatever. He ends up speaking with the son. The son sounds very protective, but yet clearly the mother is not listening. Like, you're holding the conversation with the wrong one, talking about you want to know his intentions. When you watch this show, you will be super embarrassed to know that his intentions for the last 10 episodes has not been in any way romantically linked to your mother. Okay? Like, oh, I mean, the whole thing just like really disappointed me, but that's just that. Let's move on to Ben and Mahogany. So Ben and Mahogany, he actually meets her. Wait, hold on. No, he did not meet her. He met her. Oh my goodness. So Mahogany is the filter queen. Mahogany is the filter queen. Mahogany and her filter photos give me South Korean girl. Okay. Mahogany shows up in person looking like an El Salvadorian girl. Mahogany starts talking like she's from West California. West LA. Like, girl, like, producers, stop playing with us. Either you flew, quote unquote, you know, Mahogany, if that's her real name, you flew her in from America for this like ridiculous storyline. Or if that is the real Mahogany, y'all, the producers still reached out to her. Like, the producers had, long story short, the producers had heavy involvement in Mahogany showing up to this meeting. Because if not, she probably would be like, this is some crazy stalker. I'm not showing up. The producers definitely got involved in helping get Mahogany there. Okay? But he seems to still like her. She had the nerve to complain about that he's not as muscular. Girl, you showed up with a whole new face, but I digress. But yeah, I mean, they seem to be getting along and she's willing to see where it goes. I mean, I don't know if she is. I think like it's going to be one of those moments, like a one-time meet type thing. I feel like she's going to get back home and then be like, yeah, no, whatever. I don't know. Like, we'll see, right? But I definitely don't see this going anywhere once this show wraps up. That I'm willing to bet my last dollar on. Let's move on. Okay. Last person. Mike and Ximena. Oh my goodness. I have told you guys before, I have no sympathy for Mike. I've told you guys before, I find him to be very disgusting. I told you guys before, Ximena, it's just not worth it. I don't think that America is worth you being disgusted all the time, repulsed by this man all the time, cleaning up after your two boys, him, his father, and grandfather. Something tell me that whole house is filthy. Something tell me that whole house stinks. Right? It lacks any type of, and I'm not going to say a woman's touch. It lacks hygiene. It lacks manners. Because you don't have to be raised by a woman to still grow up with manners and hygiene. Like, she is repulsed by him, and I do not blame her. However, The problem that I do have with Ximena is that you're using him at this point, right? You've always used him, honestly. But I think like after the last visit, you realize, yeah, this really can't work, which is what she admits to. I think that she probably thought that it would until she met him and realized like, he's not really my type. Then you add in the fact that the sex was so-so. Then you add in the fact that, you got a man who is burping like crazy, open mouth in front of her family at the dinner table. Gross. A man that's farting on top of her while they're making out. A man that is blowing boogers and everything in other people's property. Like he's like, Mike is gross. And instead of taking accountability for it, you're blaming it on ADHD. You're showing her your room like, oh, look, my room, I keep it clean. Like you're a 16-year-old boy. Like she's repulsed. And I do not blame her. But I do blame you for trying to still use him, knowing good and well you don't want nothing to do with him. The moment she said, don't come until I have my operation, girl, what? You don't want nothing to do with that man. You don't want anything to do with that man. It is so clear, okay? But Mike still ignores his father, ignores his grandfather, ignores Ximena, and brings his ass down to Colombia, right? I got to see we're growing a little bit distance. Okay, whatever, Mike. You show up there. How do you lack so much awareness, right? It's one thing that you lack awareness that this girl is clearly not into you. But how do you lack awareness to where you don't notice that you have dragged poop into someone else's home and you don't smell it on you? You don't smell poop on you. And then you take the shoes off, you put it to your nose, you throw it in the corner of her home. Don't go to wash your hand and continue touching around. The look on her face was disgust, and I don't blame her because I was disgusted at home. I was disgusted. It was gross. But Ximena, regardless, it does not give you the right to use that man. Just send him on his way. Send him on his way. You've already gotten the refrigerator, sofa, bills paid for God knows how long. All of that. Like the moment he replaces that rug, send him on his way because you do not want him. It's clear. It's very, very clear that this is not what you want. So then he says that he wants to go out to the club. Well, she wants to go out to the club. My apologies. And he wants to go with her, but briefly because, he wants to bring his laptop so he can start working. Okay, fair enough. Ximena, these clubs, they can't wait until after this man leaves. You're like, I have to do this now. Hold on, I skipped over one major part. Ximena admits to going to a loan shark for her breasts. And it says that Mike coming means that she can't get her breasts done. What does him coming having to stop with you going to get those breasts done if that was already your goal to do it? I don't think she gave a good description of that. Something tells me this is some baloney. But you went to a loan shark. Loan sharks are usually those where you get high interest rate money, and it's usually for exchange for something illegal. Okay, that is some street nonsense. This is where Ximena goes to get money for her boobs. Ximena parties at the club, sends Mike home in a taxi, stays out till 9 in the morning. Forget the fact that Mike is here. You're 9 in the morning like you don't got 2 boys at home. Ximena is for the streets. Ximena belongs to the streets, period. The more we learn of Ximena, the more we realize that it's not a shock to us that her ex-boyfriend was a hitman. It's not a shock to us that you got pregnant while visiting in prison. Ximena is a street girl. Ximena, you want that tummy tuck and your boobs done so you can get the man that you really want, or at least to trick off on better look, or at least to get men to trick off on you that are better looking with way more manners than Mike. It's like an investment for you. It's not for no damn modeling. It's not for modeling. Stop it. It is an investment for what? I don't know, perhaps an OnlyFans. If not OnlyFans, perhaps for you to be running around sitting next to the top drug dealer in your neighborhood. There are actual street girls. We have these here in the U.S. Every hood has a street girl that is known for being with the top criminal. Okay? Ximena gives me that vibe. Ximena gives me been on survivor mode her whole life. Okay? This is a girl who 15 years old, had a baby. We don't know who that father is. No involvement in the life. Afterwards, before she hits 20, goes off having sex with a man that you barely knew, who was in prison, who was literally in prison. It's not like you got pregnant before he went to jail. You got pregnant while he was in jail. Then you start dating a hitman. Now you borrowing money from a loan shark. And you staying out 9 in the morning like you don't got kids. Ximena is for the streets. Mike, you cannot keep up. Mike, that girl is not willing to sit around and be repulsed by next to you for a better life. Her better life is me trying to get as much cash as I can for my body. I'm sorry. That's the vibe I get from Ximena. Everyone should cut their losses. And here's the thing. People say that Mike can do better. Yes, he can. Mike, you can definitely do better than Ximena. Especially if you're running around here grabbing foreigners from other countries. There's always going to be some girl who's going to be willing to put up with that, I'm guessing, just to get down to this country. Okay? But let me be clear with you also, Mike. Ximena can do better than you. You're very gross. Very repulsive. Like, I can't even eat my food when you come on the screen. Because we know you're going to do something. Either you're going to be burping, digging in your nose, farting, poop. You're gross. You're gross. So yeah, both of you can do better. Okay? So therefore everyone cut their losses. Okay, so that is the end of my wrap up of this episode. I will get back to you guys shortly and let me know your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. I am still getting a hold of this whole YouTube thing. I'm hoping to get more active and get better and, grab me a camera and all of that good jazz. But in the meantime, let's just talk. Let's just talk about our thoughts about this ridiculous episode. Okay, bye. See you guys next time.